Let's talk about all my planner failures for 2023. Hey everyone, it's Greg from Stationery Shenanigans, and this video is my 2023 Techo Kaigi. I'm going to go over what I tried to use this year and what did not work, and then I'm going to also talk about what did work, and maybe do a little bit of brainstorming for 2024, because if you can believe it, today is December 16th, and I still haven't decided what planner I'm going to use come January. So if you're watching this, please comment down below and let me know what you're using to plan for 2024. Before I get into the different planners, I want to talk about something I just got today at a farmer's market. So I went to my favorite coffee shop, probably ever, in Maryville, Tennessee today as like my end of semester time to myself, and I want to do more cafe journaling in 2024. That's one of my semi-resolutions. So I went and did that in my traveler's notebook, and I was really happy with the results. And then I walked around the farmer's market, which I was surprised is still happening in the middle of December in the cold. So there was a guy who makes leather notebook covers and other leather things, including like a leather sketchbook that was square shaped. And it's local. He's in Knoxville, Tennessee. Let me look up his name and I'll link it below because I took a picture of his info. He was really nice. It's called Gridwork, and work is W-E-R-K. His name is Michael Nolan. Handmade, unique, authentic, Knoxville, Tennessee. And he was explaining the different things to me and said that they also have a lifetime warranty on all of his products. So I went for this leather notebook cover. Now they did have a really nice camel colored one with like nice stitching, and it looked really like rugged of the same size. But I really like this one because it has gears on it. And he said this was a new design he was just starting out with. And I just like the gears. It reminds me of like analog, which is kind of a buzzword from when it comes to using notebooks and things like that. And I just really liked it. So I went ahead and decided on this blue with the cool imprint of the gears on there. It did include a notebook, and it has a little clasp here. He said the clasps are sometimes hard to open, but I figured that's with everything, right? So the notebook came included. It's kind of like an Amazon Moleskine, just a regular lined notebook. And he even said he included the packaging from the notebook in the planner, that way, or in the cover, that way you know which size to look for. So this is 8.25 by 5 inches, and it talks about it a little bit. So I thought that was cool, so now I know what things to put in there. But I really like it. It lays flat, which for a leather cover is a big deal for me, because sometimes like the flap still goes like this, and that drives me crazy. So this does lay fully flat, and it's got like a vertical pocket here, and then it has kind of like a cutoff pocket in the front. And it's not too heavy, and the leather feels nice and sturdy. So I just really like this, and I have an idea of how I'm going to use it, but I literally just bought it like an hour ago, so I haven't played around with it yet. I want to see if some other notebooks fit in here and all that fun stuff. So I got that, and then I went into a bookstore to get a book to read on my flight next week, and they had some stationery items. So I got two things. I had to like, you know, control myself. One thing really excited me. So when I lived in Moscow, this brand, Bruno Visconti is kind of like more common, I guess, in Europe. It's hard to find in the US. And this is just like a ballpoint pen. I know I have one of these in red that I bought last time I was before I left Russia. And they're not very expensive. This store charges $4.99 for them, which is kind of overpriced because in Europe these are like 99 cents or something less than that. But it's just a black ballpoint pen with a 0.5 tip. And the funny thing was, I saw the carton of refills first. So they sell refills. I was like, wow, they have pen refills, but for what pen? And then I looked around and found that they also sold the pen that those refills were made for. So this actually came with a refill, which is awesome. And I chose black. I don't know why. I was just feeling I wanted something very like neutral and classic looking, because sometimes I get weird with colors and I don't like the color anymore. They had a bunch of others, but it's just a nice, with like this gold plated trim, almost silicone feeling ballpoint pen. So I just liked it, and it feels really comfortable. And yeah, so I just wanted to share that. And they also had Clairefontaine notebooks, which a lot of you know Clairefontaine is really compatible with a lot of fountain pens. They had two different kinds. I chose this retro one that's called Back to Basics. It kind of just looks like, you know, a school book that you use in elementary school. And it's just lined white paper. They did have another one with a fancier design that had ivory paper, and I do love me some ivory paper, but I just went with this one because I like the look of this like composition book, and I got it in black too. I think this is what I'll take when I go on my trip next week. Yeah, so Clairefontaine. This was $6.99, which again, is pretty much a standard for like a higher quality notebook, but the fact that I was able to find this in person here in, you know, Knoxville, Tennessee was awesome, so I had to get it. Plus it's like an independent bookstore, so I feel good supporting those kind of businesses, just like I like supporting local artisans and stuff like that. So those are the things I want to share. Now let's get into my Techo Kaigi. I've been watching a lot of your all videos. I don't know, are you supposed to do Techo Kaigis earlier in the year? Well, I didn't get to it, so we're going to get to it now, and I'm just going to talk about different things. So first up, this is my Filofax original in the navy blue. I love it. I've had it for, I don't know, probably since 2015, so it's been a while. I always try to use it, but I think it's either the size or the rings that just get me every single time. I did use it here for a while, and it was good to, you know, manage like different things. I had my health organizer, my finance budget thing, my pen test papers, and my intentions for 2023 and all that kind of stuff. So this was, the paper of this was not that good. I basically got it for free on Amazon, but it's just low quality paper. But Filofax is iconic in itself. I maybe will find another way to use this. I just don't know if I'll be able to carry this around as a planner. I would not consider it though if I had the right inserts with good quality paper. Whoops. Okay, next up is this Mark's Agenda. Is it Mark's? Mark's Ink? Something like that. I had got this in the summer at Omoizaka when I was home in Philly because they had planners that were like 70% off or something, because at this point it was halfway done. And I think this was $10 or something like that. Of course, it somehow got lost in my move, and it was like wedged between other notebooks, so I just hadn't been thinking about it. I can reuse this plastic cover, but this is only until the end of 2023. So the layout is interesting. It's vertical, and then I do like the check boxes on the left and then lines on the bottom. So I do like the layout of it. And it has a bookmark, and it's a little bit, I guess it's a B6 size, but the paper just doesn't feel nice. It feels really cheap. So I don't know how a fountain pen would test up to it, but I do like the size of this, and I love ones that have plastic covers like this. So that was a fail. My Notely, or Noti, what's it called? Oh geez. Nolty, which I still think it should just be called Notely, because that makes sense. This is a Japanese planner I bought in Kinokuniya in New Jersey when I went for my birthday last year. I really like the look of it, the color, the pen loop, all that stuff. Didn't really get into using it. I don't know what it was about it. I think it was the horizontal. So they have, I don't know if you can tell, but there's time stamps, like numbers that go horizontally. There was something about that my brain had trouble processing. I do love a whole page of notes on the other side. That's perfect. But I think because I use Google Calendar now, Google Calendar shows vertically, and I just like couldn't match up in my head like my day with this horizontal thing. So that's one thing I learned about myself, is that I do like setting things up vertically when it comes to scheduling. I think we just see time maybe vertically instead of horizontally, time of day. Does that make sense? Anyway, love it. At least the cover is reusable. I would definitely try another Nolty because I think the paper quality is amazing, and I've seen some of you all post some and you order it like through Amazon Japan or whatever, but this one just didn't work out. Next up was a total fail. This is a Moleskine for 2023. This used to be a planner I used years ago, and I used consistently, because at one of my old jobs I had to walk around all the time between different buildings to different job sites and stuff, and I had to sign a lot of papers. People would give me papers I had to sign. I was like, well, I'm not going to go into it, but I had to sign probably like a good 50 to 60 papers a day. So I would have this because I could put the paper here, walk, and fill out the form for my colleagues and stuff. I just had this with my other notebook, so I thought this was just a blank Moleskine notebook, and it turns out it is a horizontal weekly. So yeah, that was truly a fail. Next up is Erin Condren. I had gone to the Erin Condren store with my sister and niece when they came and visited me last year. It was a great experience. I've learned that since then I think they had to close the stores, or at least that store in Northern Virginia, which is disappointing. I got to make my own cover there, which was awesome. I really like this. It's green, plaid, has my initials, very me. I did use this for a while, and it really helped me manage my time when I was finishing up my master's degree, and I had to do all these like different things for my thesis and go to different places. Like, this truly was a way that I was able to keep my mind together. I think the layout, one reason I like this layout is because it's like Monday through Thursday are on the left page, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday are on the right page. So it's like you can quickly think of like weekdays and then weekend. And then it has the tabs for the month. So a lot of you probably use Erin Condren. My only issue is the paper feels a little too rough for me. It almost feels like construction paper. And like most planning things, it's very colorful and not muted at all. And I think I would love for more companies to make more neutral colored things, because they have fun designs, and like the layout's cool and it's like a fun thing to be a part of, but it's always like too bright and too flashy. So I would consider using this again, but I don't know, the rings are kind of big and I have to carry around stuff at the university all the time. So whatever I choose for next year, it has to be like really small and really lightweight. But you can reuse this cover, which is awesome. And yeah, so that's my Erin Condren. I think this is called the Life Planner, and I cannot remember for the life of me what size it is. So yeah. And last, I tried a Happy Planner. My sister had given me a bunch of awesome accessories to use with the Happy Planner. Again, this just became too big and bulky. There was no way I was going to carry it around. I do like how much space you get. I think this kind of this kind of planner would work really well for something other than daily planning. Like, this would be a really cool thing because of how big it is. This is huge, doesn't even fit in the camera frame. This would be really awesome if you like drew comics every day, or you were like trying to do like a storyboard, or maybe you're writing a novel or something like that and you're trying to divide it up here, and you're treating this like a project. So I would say this is more of like a project manager planner than like a daily life planner. And I think I had gotten this really inexpensive from Michael's with a coupon or something. So Happy Planner was also a fail. So let's talk about what did work for me. This is the planner that I've been using since September. Now, as I've mentioned before, I had a whole life and career change. So now my life is kind of organized into the academic year because I work at a college now. So I wanted to get an academic planner for that purpose. This is something I had just got off Amazon, randomly looked at. It was about $9 or $10. I needed something that I would carry around and use, and it's really lightweight. It's kind of like a pleather cover to it. It's navy blue. It has this little charm for the bookmark. I just loved it. The paper is super thick, so it's kind of just like your standard planner, right? Like a checkbox, your monthly layout. Like, there's nothing too crazy about it. It does have the full months at the beginning of each, but it's like your standard planner, cream colored paper, but the paper is like legit really thick and it feels really nice to write on. I don't use fountain pens in it because when I carry around stuff at school, I use like a multi-pen, so like a Coletto or a Jetstream, something like that. But I was using this to manage all my different things, and it just felt good. And I think the planner that you use is the planner that's for you, right? So this is what I'm still using. This is what I carry when I go to the university and all that stuff. Don't know if I'm going to replace it. Maybe I'm going to end up not changing anything and just keep using this into 2024, but we'll see.